Welcome to the Red Carpet Report, your backstage pass to celebrity book clubs, book adaptations, and upcoming book releases. I'm Kirsten.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are your hosts.
This week, we are going to be doing a deep dive into all things Reese. But before we get to that, we just need to talk about your outfit today.
Because I never wear athleisure.
No.
And I look like a polar bear, a marshmallow.
A marshmallow. She's blending in with the snow outside. And actually, today was my best day because I was so not looking forward to actually getting dressed. And you're like, come over in athleisure wear. I'm like, yes.
I have a sick kid home, as you know, and I am also maybe having some not so great tummy situations going on. So this was a full comfort day. And it's only because we love you guys that we're actually recording.
And it's only because I love you that we're recording this. Cause
in an enclosed
space with two people that aren't feeling good.
But we love you and we thank you for our tea.
Yay! It's made with love.
We need to get into the red carpet rundown. And part of the reason we are actually filming today, despite the illness, is because of what we saw last night. But before we even get into that, let's talk about the Nightingale news.
Oh, I'm so excited. So they finally started filming, or they have a filming date.
Which I feel like this movie has been in production for a decade?
No, they have already announced that the Fanning sisters are going to be the two sisters. I love the fact that they chose real sisters to play the part, and they're so good.
It will be really fun to see them as sisters, as actors together on the same screen.
Yes, that's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited for that. So now we get to talk about what we did last night. We saw Wuthering Heights.
We saw it. It comes out on Friday, and this is probably the most anticipated movie theater release for the first quarter at least, but probably for the whole year. I mean, the hype on this one has been very real.
Let's talk about this movie.
Let's talk about it.
I don't even know how to begin.
Let's start with the positives, okay? From a cinematic standpoint, from a production standpoint, the cinematography was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. The costumes were unbelievable.
The decadence of the set, especially at the Linden House, reminded me of Marie Antoinette. Remember that movie by Sofia Coppola where it was just like a feast for the eyes? That was very, very evident here. And the juxtaposition of that opulence against the moors and the backdrop was just so yummy.
Oh, 100%. And she did an amazing job of showing the darkness and the light and the costumes.
And the use of the color red throughout as the cinematic tie. I mean, there is a lot for cinema lovers, for production lovers to like really get into and be interested in.
100%. I think it is very important to know that this is not a Wuthering Heights adaptation. This is a Wuthering Heights retelling. This is a bit of a reimagining, should you say.
Oh, we should say.
If you are looking for something that is true to the book, you are not going to enjoy this movie. I think it's also very important that people know.
They changed the ending. I think you need to know that. They changed the entire half of the book that involves the next generation is not in there.
This is very much a reimagining. Okay. It is also...
it is a pornographic reimagining.
Thank you.
If 50 Shades of Grey level sexiness was back then, but also if it was not based on...
consent?
Yeah, like consent, and also like it was just a lot of like revenge sex and revenge sexual acts. And
yeah, but there was also really weird kinks.
You don't actually see a whole lot of body parts from that angle. However, again, this goes back to the cinematography and what they do. There are other non-sexual objects that are kind of sexualized in how they are filmed and they are cut. And there's a lot of like juices and tongues and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there's a lot of noises. So if you ASMR can't handle like slurping, not during the act of, but like where you're supposed to be thinking about it.
Completely outside, and it was actually making me a little bit gagging, okay? Because there were just scenes that had nothing to do with sexual acts. And there was a lot of slurping and glurking and noises.
I don't think this is a movie for the older generations. Like my mom would have been horrified in that theater from what she was seeing on screen and watching it with other people. We were probably one of the older people there in the theater, which is really sad to say that out loud. And the people and we were also in the minority in some of our responses. People around us were sobbing. They thought it was so beautiful. And it was such like a wonderful love story. And so there are certainly people that will like it as a dark romance. If you like a dark romance, you will like it. But if you don't like those things, you are going to go in and not have the experience that you were thinking you were going to have with the book adaptation.
100%. I feel like it is a very, very artistic, dark portrayal. And if you go into that with your eyes—
that takes a lot of liberties.
Yes. And I think if you go in with your eyes open and maybe look at it as something completely different, that's great. But they're billing this for Valentine's Day, and this isn't romance. That is the biggest issue that I have, that they're billing it as romance, and this is not romance.
I just don't want people walking away thinking that these are healthy relationships, that these are, and obviously it goes to extremes, but it gives me pause for younger. I mean, I think as older women, we're like, yeah, okay, we can recognize the red flag and move on. But I really just hope that younger people who are out there are not like, oh, like Heathcliff is my dream.
The interesting thing was the younger men that were in there totally recognized it for exactly what it was. And they were saying like, ooh, red flags. And the women they were with were going on about how hot Heathcliff is.
I think romances in general have switched from this like bodice ripper, which is kind of what this reminded me of, like an unhealthy bodice ripper, to these other things like Bridgerton that are like very consensual and healthy and sexual in a very like light and fun and healthy way.
Yeah.
And this is not Bridgerton. This is different.
No, and it's confusing.
And it is funny. It's funny. We laughed a few times.
Yes.
They like lean into it a little.
And I mean, they are gorgeous.
They are.
Oh my goodness. Like,
if there were two people you want to see have sex on screen, it's those two.
Oh my God. They are so gorgeous. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't tear your eyes away, but then I was feeling so uncomfortable with how the story was playing out. It would just made me feel very wrong.
So there it is. That's our full review. Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe decide based on that. I already know some people who I've texted who I've been like, you are going to love it. And other people that I've been like, this is not for you. And I don't think you're going to get the experience that you want in a theater. Because we were blushing to be in a fully packed theater and seeing some of the things. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm with other people watching this. So if you're that kind of person, don't see it in the theater. Maybe wait till it's at home on the TV. Yeah.
We are now going to do a deep dive into Reese. Okay. And if everyone remembers, he crowned Reese the winner of the 2025 Celebrity Book Club Showdown.
She was really the first celebrity book club, and we were doing this yesterday. I think there's about 16, 17 of them now, book clubs, celebrity book clubs.
Yeah.
And she was really the pioneer for this generation. I mean, it was always Oprah.
Right.
And then decades later, Reese came along, and she came along in 2017. That was when she launched in June with Eleanor Oliphant.
Yeah, right after we started Beyond the Bookends.
That's right. Beyond the Bookends is older than Reese's book club.
It is.
Think about that.
That's crazy.
So we've seen this from the beginning. We've seen sort of how all of these celebrity book clubs have come into play in recent years. And so she started with Eleanor Oliphant. That one hit. That was some good success. But it was really in August of 2018 when she chose Where the Crawdads Sing that it took it to a new level. That's when other book clubs started forming, because Where the Crawdads Sings was on New York Times bestseller list for months.
Like 18 months. Like they were still making special edition hardback copies 18 months later. They still had not released the paperback.
That was the one that like took it to a new stratosphere. And certainly those earlier books really were. It was, if you had that Reese sticker, you were pretty much guaranteed that you were going to be on the bestseller list.
Yeah.
She's always been focused on female-driven stories. And so the books that she chose are all written by female authors. But she reads across the genres too.
I think she does. And I really like that when we were looking through and we were choosing the best, she's one of the people that really has some romances in there. We know that she's picked a bunch of thrillers in the last little while, and she's picked great thrillers in the past, great historical fiction. The only thing that she doesn't usually pick is fantasy.
That's right. She'll do a little magical realism here or there, but I don't think she's ever chosen a full fantasy novel.
No.
This is going to be fun. We each chose our top 10, and we're going to read them out. And then we have your top 10. We asked you all on Instagram what your favorites were, and we have your 10 as well. So,
okay. I'm excited for this because we haven't talked about it, so we don't know if we're going to have any that are the same. I mean, we know that we're going to have some that are the same.
All right. You want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
Daisy Jones.
That was on my list too.
Okay, so Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I think you guys chose that as your favorite also.
That's on everyone's list.
This is not a surprise.
Not even a little bit of a surprise. The book adaptation was fantastic. Right. This, I think, was the most popular of all of her books.
I think so. That's why I said it first, because this wasn't a surprise.
Well, if we're talking about very popular, then we have to go with Crawdads.
Obviously.
Where the Crawdads sing. Yeah. I mean, that one's
100%. That was on my list
and
too.
That was number one on your list. The most people wrote in and said Crawdads.
The next book that I'm going to say, which you had told everybody, which is Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall.
That was on my list. Right. I loved that. We chose that. We chose Claire as our book club participant months before Reese announced.
Right.
And
right.
We were right. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I have, well, just to get this one out of the way, because it was from last year, Wild Dark Shore.
And I do not have that on my list.
You don't?
No.
Well, I will say I meant to go back and say that Broken Country, you guys also chose, but Wild Dark Shore was not on everybody else's list either.
But I'm going to tell you why it wasn't on my list. Because it was already a bestseller when she chose it, and I object, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fair.
Right? So to me, this was already a bestseller, and then she chose it. So is it really a Reese pick? Like it was already doing great. And so then my question is, why did you choose a book that was that backlist that's already a bestseller? So are you looking to like stick your sticker on something that's already successful because maybe some of your other book choices weren't so great?
Well, she did choose it at the end of the year, and she does have this habit. Like she did it with the Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell, I want to say. Where at the end of the year, we know that there's not a whole lot that's released in November and December. I think that's partially why Jenna chose, Pride and Prejudice the one time. And so I'm not surprised that she goes back and she chooses something else that came out.
Let's talk about Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister.
I did not read that one.
This is actually one of my favorite thrillers ever. It was so well done. It's so brilliant. And I'm so glad she chose it because I feel like then more people read it.
Okay. For me, I'm going to go Next Year in Havana.
Oh, I did not have that on my list.
I just remember being captivated by Cuba when I read that story. And I don't know. I just still think about it so fondly. I followed up. I've read every other book in the series. I just really love Chanel Clayton. I've loved her ever since that story. So to me, it was like she introduced me to a new author that became an auto-buy author for her. So I thank Reese for that one.
This probably is not a surprise to anyone. The Alice Network, Kate Quinn.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one.
Oh, you didn't have that on your list?
I did not have it on my list.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
But I will throw on Tom Lake.
Oh, not on my list.
I love that one, especially because the audiobook is Meryl Streep, which, I mean, come on.
You can't go wrong. The Firekeeper's Daughter.
I feel like she is your Chanel Clayton. Like she was introduced to you via Reese, and ever since you've purchased every single one of her books.
Yeah, I love her books. They're so good, and they're YA, but they're really perfect for adults too. Like brilliant.
I have such a fun.
Oh, I don't have that on my list.
Kylie Reed, she's local here to Philly, and I just thought it was one of the first books that was really about like influencer culture and social media that I ever read, and it really sort of brought that into the spotlight and like what it means to be a mom and the mom nanny dynamic. It was one of her earlier picks too, and it still sticks with me.
This shouldn't be a surprise because we picked it for our book club, but The Christie Affair.
Oh, yes, that's our current book club read.
It is. It's our current book club read, and I just loved it so much. It's about the days that Agatha Christie went missing, and it's a fictional version of what might have happened, and I just thought it was such a good book.
I love it because you literally just finished that like a week ago, and it made your top 10, so that makes me really happy.
It did. It's so good.
I have This Is How It Always Is. And it was about the little girl who was trans. And, you know, it was a newer area for me to read about. I hadn't thought about the impact of it on the family. I hadn't thought about so much. And I would challenge anyone to read that story and not walk away in some way with like so much respect for people that make this choice to transition, and also for the families that support them, and also to understand the hurdles. Like no one is making this choice lightly, and no one is doing this without care and consideration. And, you know, it profoundly changed how I view the trans community in such a positive way.
That actually was on my list also.
Oh, it was?
It was. That was such a good book.
Such a good book.
The way that it was written is brilliant. It's just brilliant.
Just so thought-provoking, an excellent book club choice.
So I have from scratch The Tembe Luck and nonfiction. I loved it so much. This was one that is actually underrated. I thought that because it was a movie that more people would have read the book, and I wonder if maybe people didn't read the book because they saw the movie.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So we chose underrated. What we did was we went on Goodreads basically. And for any of the ones that weren't in the top, we went and we checked to see if there were at least 100,000 reviews.
Yes.
And a lot of them, like Daisy Jones has like 3 million. You know, a lot of these are at like 2, 4, 500,000 reviews. So when you get to one that's under 100, that was a Reese pick, you're kind of like, huh, okay, that's interesting.
Right. And especially one that was made into a movie. So I wonder if, because it's a short little book and it was made into a movie and it's nonfiction, people were like, well, it's going to be the same.
Right.
So I don't know.
I'm down to my 2 that were also underrated.
Okay.
The first one I have is True Biz, which I was kind of shocked.
Good.
It was so good. It's about
it's a deaf school.
A deaf school. And the students and the teachers that work there and the different ways that they communicate and how there's different languages even within the deaf community. And it was so, again, thought-provoking, opened my eyes to a culture I was unaware of, but was also like a high school drama with like romance and all this other fun stuff. So it wasn't such a heavy read. It was just excellent.
Yeah, very good. I should mention that The Christie Affair was also an underrated or like underread. I got one more.
Hit me with it.
This was not underrated. I think everybody has read this one. The First Lie Wins. Ashley Alsted.
I didn't read that one. But the sequel just came out, The Anatomy of an Alibi.
Yes, I'm so excited. I haven't read it yet, but I have it to read because I loved this one. I thought it was very, very smart. It's like 2 spies and they're both like spying on each other, and like it's got a whole thing. It's great.
I love that. My final one was Spectacular Things, which is about the soccer player, which is perfect for the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
And it's another underrated one, which I am shocked about.
Interesting.
Dory Stein, also a local. And it's the 2 sisters. One needs a kidney transplant.
Right.
One is an Olympic level soccer player. They really have relied on each other. The older sister needs to raise the soccer player, because their mom is sort of in the picture, but not the best. And it's just this great story about sisterhood and sports, and it's such a family drama. And I was shocked that like only 50,000 ratings. I was really, truly surprised because this was an excellent story.
I feel like either Reese's books are blowout like bestsellers or nobody reads them.
And we actually looked at the last few years, and 2024 and 2025, the majority of her books were actually not
doing
bestsellers.
Very well.
They were not doing very well. They were underread. And so I think she needed the comeback. I think after a few years, there were a few, I would say 23, 24, like they were not great years for her. And so I wonder if people started like disregarding the sticker. And then she made a comeback last year.
She did.
But even the books that she made a comeback from didn't really hit. I'm going to go through the rest of your list. Okay, we've already talked about them, but Crawdads, Broken Country, Daisy Jones all made your top 10. Isola also made your top
interesting.
10. Paper Palace made the top 10. Isola was the only one on this list from you readers, because you guys know what's up, that was underread. All the other ones had major, like 500,000 reviews. I'm saving the one I know you're going to talk about for last, The Henna Artist.
Oh, that's a good one.
That almost made my top 10. That was a great one. Something in the Water, a thriller.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was okay. It wasn't my favorite thriller.
It wasn't, I didn't put really any thrillers on this list, but of her thrillers that she's chosen, my personal favorite was The Guest List by Lucy Foley.
That was a good one too.
So, and I'm counting these together, but the last thing he told me the first time I saw him.
Right.
And the final one, and I know you have thought,
is The Nightingale.
It is The Nightingale. Go ahead.
Okay.
Lay it on me,
so
Jack.
This is one of my favorite books like I've ever read. And I read it 10 years ago before she chose it. So in my mind, this is not a Reese pick. I totally understand why she chose it. She's going to produce it. We're so excited for the movie. I think it's going to be fantastic. However, I just think that when she chose it for reasons that I disagree with, right? So at the time, she said she was choosing this as a book to bring attention to anti-Semitism or something along those lines. And this is not a book about a Jewish experience. This is a book about two French sisters and their experience in the war. And yes, there are Jewish characters in here, but this is not a story about the Jewish experience. So the fact that she chose it for her book club, I was like,
It was also not written by a Jewish woman, which I remember our most popular ever reel on Instagram is actually me being like, Reese, glad you chose it, but let me give you 15 other books that were better and that were written by Jewish women about a Jewish experience. So if you want to bring light to anti-Semitism, here's your laundry list of books that we can recommend for you.
I
didn't love that she chose this. I'm with you.
Or she could have chose it and just say that she chose it because she chose it. Don't say that you chose it because you're want to show a Jewish experience. Like that just makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
So again, love this book so
Great
much.
book. We understand why everyone else put this on their list.
100%. I'm just being very nitpicky, and I think like book was 10 years old before you chose it. So
there are a few other sort of runner-up underread books that we wanted to just mention.
Well, yeah.
So the first is Tokyo Ever After, which surprisingly we talked about last week.
Yeah.
It's a like YA princess story about a girl who finds out, it's essentially the Princess Diaries. She finds out that she's actually related to royalty in Japan, and she gets sent to Japan to live in a royal palace and learn about her new royal life.
And it's adorable.
It's great. It's so entertaining. Another one we have was The Secrets We Kept, which was about the CIA, like Cold War era, like Russian and American spies.
Right.
Like female spies. Like awesome.
We love a good female spy story.
Yeah, we do. That's a hint.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. Future reading challenge. I don't know how to wink. Do you know that?
What do you mean? Go ahead.
I'm going to do it for the camera so everyone else can see.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wink. Is that not how you wink?
No.
That's why I think people think that I'm trying to be funny whenever I like wink at them, because I'm like,
because you're closing both eyes and looking in the other direction.
I don't know how to wink. So
wink.
Oh my God. I can't do it.
You're like,
do you I just say wink, wink?
Can I ask you a question? Do you have to open your mouth to put on your mascara?
Yes, I do. How do you know that?
Because I can tell by the way you're trying to wink. Your eyes are not connected to your mouth.
I do. I sit there and I look like a fish. Like I'm like when I put my mascara on.
I could tell from the way that you're winking.
All right, the final underrated book was Once Upon a Time in Dollywood.
That was so underrated. I don't know why. It was adorable.
It was a good little romance, right?
It was a really good romance. I really enjoyed it. I don't understand. And it had really low ratings. Like I think only like 6,000 reviews on Goodreads.
Like that's wild to me.
It is.
And it was a recent pick, but it was over the summer 2025. So
I know.
What are we doing here, folks? Don't sleep on this one. I get to do the bookmark.
She gets to do the bookmark this week.
I get to do the bookmark. And my book comes out today because it's Tuesday. So it's out now. And you could totally save it for summer, but definitely pack it in your bag if you're going anywhere warm and tropical for spring break. It's called So I Met This Guy by Alexander Potter.
Oh.
And it's a really fun one because Maggie, our female protagonist, has been hoodwinked by this man named Theo. And he tricked her into falling in love and giving him all of her bank accounts and da-da-da-da-da-da. And he has left her penniless. Now she's living in a caravan in a field in England. And Flick, the local reporter, is like a dog on the bone with this story. And she wants Maggie. She's found Theo on social media. He's in the Mediterranean. She wants Maggie to come with her so that she can get a really great article out of this and hopefully like propel herself into journalism stardom.
Okay.
And so the women decide to get on a plane and hop on over to the Italian Riviera.
Nice.
And follow him around from city to city, from Monte Carlo to, I think they end up in,
fun.
They're in Spain at one point. I think they go to Portugal. They're in Italy. They're all over the coast on this like vacation getaway. They find out stuff about themselves. They find out about female friendships. It sort of like reignites Maggie's like drive because she feels like a shriveled husk of herself with like, she had to close her art gallery. She had to close all these other things. And so she's like really like destitute.
How old is she?
She's, I want to say like 40s, 50s.
Oh, okay.
So she's older.
Got it.
And then Flick is like a young little 20-something, and they both give each other confidence in very different ways. And of course, like the settings are incredible because
sounds amazing.
It's totally a beach read, but it's out now, so it can be your spring break beach read.
Oh, I love that.
And it's phenomenal. So that is my bookmark choice for the week. It's a very, very fun one.
I love that. Believe it or not, we are already starting to talk about March, which is middle grade March. So we are going to be talking about middle grade historical fiction. We're going to be talking all about our choice for the book club. So we want to know, what is your favorite middle grade historical fiction or just your favorite middle grade book?
We're going to be talking about that next week. But in the meantime, that's it. That's our episode. So we'll see you next week.
So like, follow, and happy reading.